Welcome to Triumph IAS. It's a daily mains practice question and answer series. This program is exclusively designed for UPSC CSE aspirants. In this video discussion, we will discuss UPSC CSE mains previous 25-year questions. Question number 1. The 1857 uprising was the culmination of the recurrent big and small local rebellions that had occurred in the preceding 100 years of British rule. Elucidate. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. British colonial rule had a tremendous impact on all sections of Indian society. When the British conquered India and colonized its economy, they faced stiff resistance from the people. The main body of the answer should be number 1. There were a series of civil rebellions. These rebellions were led by rulers who were deposed by the Britishers, ex-officials of the conquered Indian states, impoverished zamindars and polygars. Number 2. It brought together people having different ethnic, religious and class background against the British rule. From 1763 to 1856 there were more than 40 major rebellions apart from hundreds of minor ones. Number 3. These rebellions were, however, local in character and effects. They were isolated from each other because each rebellion had a different motive. Number 4. Although the revolt began as a military rising and it appears to be a great sequel in the long series of a number of mutinies, its causes were deeply rooted in the changing conditions of the times. Number 5. It drew its strength from several elements of discontent against British rule. After the Battle of Plassey in 1757, the British captured Bengal and using it as a base they captured the entire business installations of the area and imposed their trade monopoly. Number 6. But their policies brought a very sharp reaction from the general masses consisting of the peasants, artisans, traders, etc. Conclusion of the answer is British rule whose policies had undermined rights, status and economic position of Indians symbolized this exploitation. The protest and resistance was mainly offered by the displaced ruling classes, peasantry and tribal. Question number 2. In absence of a well-educated and organized local-level government system, panchayats and samitis have remained mainly political institutions and not effective instruments of governance. Critically discuss. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. Local democracy in India is in deep disarray. Even after 25 years of introduction of Panchayati Raj as third tier of democracy, panchayats and samitis have mainly served as political institutions. The main body of the answer should be number 1. At times when India is poised to become global power, panchayats are supposed to serve as more effective instruments of governance. Number 2. Lack of organization. For proper planning and implementation of policies and programmed, the grassroots level of governance needs to have a well-defined structure. Gram Sabha meetings are not held on regular basis in many cases. Number 3. Absence of clear-cut agenda. Due to lack of clear-cut agenda for working and clearly defined goals, these institutions will take ad hoc decisions. Lack of education. It has restricted the decision-making capability of the members. Number 4. Hence the issues concerning the local government are not discussed. It only serves the political purpose of the candidate. Also, it has been seen that the candidate give lack of education in understanding rules and regulations as an excuse for doing correction. Number 5. Inadequate level of expertise. It has severely affected the effectiveness of Panchayati Raj institutions, as they are unable to take a holistic approach to find the solutions of existing problems. Number 6. After the 14th Finance Commission recommendation and government's greater focus on decentralized development, greater funds are being provided to PRIs. Conclusion of the answer is so for better functioning of PRIs, providing adequate training, making amendment in Panchayati Raj Act, more devolution of powers are some of the steps that need to be taken. Moreover, fixing certain minimum qualification standards for fighting panchayati elections will help in improving its effectiveness in governance mechanism. Question number 3. It is argued that the strategy of inclusive growth is intended to meet the objectives of inclusiveness and sustainability together. Comment on this statement. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. Inclusion is essential for sustainable growth. But only active inclusion is sustainable. Active inclusion is that which increases capabilities and allows more people to contribute to and participate in the benefits of growth. The main body of the answer should be number 1. Inclusive growth means economic growth that creates employment opportunities and helps in reducing poverty. It includes providing equality of opportunity and empowering people through education and skill development. Number 2. It means having access to essential services in health and education by the poor. It includes providing equality of opportunity, empowering people through education and skill development. Number 3. It also encompasses a growth process that is environment-friendly growth, aims for good governance, and helps in creation of a gender-sensitive society. Number 4. Special efforts to increase employment opportunities are essential as it is a necessary condition for bringing about an improvement in the standard of living of the people. Number 5. Inclusive growth refers both to the pace and pattern of growth, which is considered interlinked and therefore in need to be addressed together. Number 6. The inclusive growth approach takes a longer-term perspective as the focus is on productive employment rather than on direct income redistribution as a means of increasing incomes for excluded groups. Number 7. Inclusive growth is a strategy which aims at achieving a particular type of growth process which will meet the objectives of inclusiveness and sustainability. Number 8. This strategy must be based on sound macroeconomic policies which establish the macroeconomic preconditions for rapid growth and support key drivers of this growth. Number 9. It must also include sector-specific policies which will ensure that the structure of growth that is generated and the institutional environment in which it occurs achieves the objective of inclusiveness in all its many dimensions. Conclusion of the answer is: inclusive growth is necessary for the sustainable development and equitable distribution of wealth and prosperity. Rapid and sustained poverty reduction requires inclusive growth that allows people to contribute to and benefit from economic growth.